LTG, let's tuck and go. We've got more details on the Dodgers signing of Kyle Tucker. We're going to talk the contract and what it means about the future for draft picks, international bonus pool money, how he could fit in that Dodgers lineup. Got 10 things you need to know about Kyle Tucker. Also, could the Dodgers trade Teoscar Hernandez or Ryan Ward? Bichette, he signed with the team. We'll talk about that. All that more coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball. Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You got it, Ryan Parade. We got it, Parade. The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series.
Ohtani starts the 50-50 club. Milky Magic. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone. Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Live from the heart of Los Angeles, this is Dodgers Dugout Live with your host, Doug McKain.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers podcast and Dodgers show on YouTube. My name is Doug McKain. Friends call me D-Mac. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. I cover the Dodgers for Dodgers Nation, a credentialed member of the media, and join the Discord, guys. Lots of fans talking Dodger baseball 24/7, 365. This show is brought to you by GearUp.LA. We've got to get an LTG, Let's Tuck and Go t-shirt. We got to get a King Tuck shirt. Noel. We got to cook up some Kyle Tucker merch for GearUp.LA. Maybe we'll work on that later. And this show is brought to you by the LA Sports Report. It's my new show about all things Los Angeles sports. Do me a favor, subscribe to that. We're doing a Kyle Tucker jersey giveaway over there. If you subscribe, you retweet the tweet that I tweet out on the X, well, then you will be eligible to win. Now, today's Dodgers Dugout Live poll question of the show, I asked you guys over on the X, do you care that fans of other teams are mad about what the Dodgers have done in free agency and how they've built this roster, saying that they've ruined baseball? Are you mad about it? Let me know down below, because it sounds like, Noel, they're mad now. Oh, they're really mad. Let's get this poll question going here. What are the streets saying? It's getting kind of ugly out there if you're not a Dodgers fan.
Let's just say I'm excited for designated Twitter on the show today because we got the best reactions and we got positive ones. We got fans crashing out, and it's crazy out there on the X right now.
It is. And I think the funny thing about it is that, yes, the Dodgers are a team that has put money back into their franchise. They're a team that has continued to reinvest, but the dirty little secret in all this, we'll talk about it here, is that players want to play here. And not a lot of people talk about that in those tweets. So I just cooked up that poll over on the X. Do you care that fans are mad about the roster that the Dodgers have built? And of course, I'm expecting that to be a pretty biased poll because I'm sure Dodgers fans will vote on that. But right now, you want to know the results of that poll?
Tell me.
100% saying no. They're saying cry more, haters. They're saying, hey, let's drink these haters' tears in a steel chalice. I love it. We got the haters mad, and that's how you know it's a good day in Dodger baseball. But we got some more news around the league. We're going to talk about the new details of Kyle Tucker's contract and how that impacts the Dodgers moving forward, and also how he will fit in that Dodgers lineup. He also did an AMA on Reddit a couple years ago. Some funny responses from that. And we've got the best from Dodgers social media in their reaction to Kyle Tucker. And we got a DFA of the day. We're going to cook up because there's that dude, I think his name's Michael Schwab, that will cook a little later, Noel, because he deserves the DFA of the day treatment for sure. But there's so much to get into in the world of Dodger baseball. Keep finding a way with those chats. Drop them down below. Super chats. We will read them right away. You cut to the front of the line. It's like having fast pass, man. You get right to the front of the line. We'll read that. We'll stop whatever we're doing, and we'll read that. But also, we're looking for that comment of the show that we're going to feature later during the 7th inning stretch. So wait out for that. So I see the chat fired up, and I see this is what really bonds Dodgers fans too. Like, we're in this together. It's LA against the world now in Major League Baseball. So yeah, let's talk about it next. And we got so many new things to kind of uncover here as far as the contract and everything else, but keep firing away. We've got John saying, Doug, I have a great photo of you framed in my bathroom looking great. Go blue. Bruh. I don't know if I give that a bruh or comment of the show or something in between, but I love that, man. It's why don't you send it to me and I'll sign it. And I'm very flattered to have you have a picture of me.
I wonder what picture it is. You got to tell us.
It's got to be one of my my YouTube reaction shots. You know, where I'm like,
oh, I know what it is. It's your new profile picture.
My new PFP. Okay,
yeah.
Okay, yeah, like that mic. I had to switch it out. By the way, I'm getting a little hot here, taking out the vest here. By the way, I know how you guys are shoey, and I will give you the shoey for sure. But I'm a little superstitious. And I'm not going to give out that shoey until I get the Dodgers official tweet. Ooh. Until it's official, there's physicals, there's things. I mean, we saw Carlos Correa when he broke in the Giants deal. So, yeah, everything's going smooth. But we will wait until the official tweet, and then we will hit that shoey. We'll sip all those haters' tears. But all right, guys, so much to get into in the world of Dodger baseball. So let's get right into it.
Leading off, the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
All right, so the hottest story in Dodger baseball is the Dodgers signing of Kyle Tucker, and we are going to spend the majority of the show talking about King Tuck. But there was some other news this morning, and now the dominoes are falling in free agency. And Kyle Tucker was the biggest one. The Dodgers get the biggest fish once again. But now we've got another move that's made, and that is that Bo Bichette is going to the New York Mets. So Bo Bichette, a longtime Dodgers trade target, someone that we talked at length about this offseason, he is heading to Flushing, Queens. And look, I'm not sad about no Bichette because you got Kyle Tucker and the Mets getting an impact bat and the kind of contract that he ends up signing for, a 3-year, $126 million deal. You got to feel good for him. I'm not worried about the Mets. Like I said, it's the LOL Mets versus the LFG Dodgers, and good for them. But now we know that he ended up a New York Met, and I think the biggest takeaway from that is that he's not on the Philadelphia Phillies. So if you're the Mets, you prevented a guy from going to the Phillies. You're going to compete in that Division 4. So Bo Bichette, he's a New York Met. We're not going to talk too much about it. We'll see you in the NLCS. No, we probably won't. We'll see you in the Division Series, maybe. Okay, so we'll see what the Mets are doing. At the end of the day, they wanted Kyle Tucker, and they had to settle for Bo Bichette. And it was a good move for them, but that is not going to happen for LA, and it's fine with it, especially when you consider that they filled their biggest need. Now, another move that was made, JT Realmuto, he goes to the Phillies. You have Cody Bellinger still out there. I expect him to sign with the New York Yankees. But let's get back to Bo Bichette, because Bo is a guy that is not on the Blue Jays. And now the Blue Jays, they don't get Bo Bichette back. They don't sign Kyle Tucker. And that is the team that was so close to being the Dodgers in the World Series. But instead, it is the Dodgers that get their guy once again. It is the Dodgers that ended up beating the Blue Jays and beating the Mets. And what I say earlier in the week, the Dodgers, they stay on that treadmill. They outlast everyone. But can you imagine how much the Blue Jays must absolutely despise the Dodgers, must absolutely detest the thought of Dodger Blue? They're their biggest villains. The Blue Jays thought they were going to sign Shohei Ohtani. They thought that Shohei was on a plane to Toronto Turns out he was chilling in Orange County and then drove to Dodger Stadium to sign his contract the very next day. The Blue Jays thought they were getting Roki Sasaki. They put on a good presentation. It was between the Blue Jays and the Dodgers. The Padres were in the mix. The Dodgers get Roki Sasaki. And then they face each other in the 2025 World Series. And they have a 3-1 lead late in Game 7. And then Max Muncy hits a home run. Miguel Rojas hits a home run. Will Smith hits the go-ahead home run. Andy Pages makes the great catch. Miguel Rojas and Will Smith, they combine to make the play at the plate that would have scored IKF to win the game. And they lose to the Dodgers. And now you lose Kyle Tucker to the Dodgers. I mean, that is just the Blue Jays are going through it, man. If you see a Blue Jays fan, give them a hug. Pray for them. Nothing wrong with them. It's just the Dodgers are their absolute nemesis, and they get the big win in this one again. Now, you know what? We were going to get into the nitty-gritty here, but I do want to start with this whole idea that what the Dodgers are doing is bad for baseball. What the Dodgers are doing is bad for baseball. We're going to do a DFA of the day right off the bat. You want to pop up that dude's tweet real quick, Noel? All right. So today's DFA of the day, we are hitting this Astros reporter, journalist. I know he talks a big game, but he's going to get the DFA of the day.
DFA of the day.
And of course, I'm talking about Michael Schwab, who tweeted out, hot take, what the Dodgers are doing is worse for baseball than any sign stealing, steroid era, juiced balls, sticky tack scandal. So it's worse for baseball what the Dodgers are doing. So by the word worse, I'm guessing you're suggesting that interest in baseball is down, right? Checks notes. Oh, 51 million people watched Game 7 of the World Series, the most ever for the World Series since 1991. Oh, you must be talking about the other ratings. Oh, you mean the most watched MLB postseason since 2010? Oh, you must be talking about the regular season, right? No one cares about the regular season because they just assume the Dodgers are going to win every single game and go 162-0, get the 1 seed and win 11 straight games of the postseason. Just give the title to the Dodgers, give them the ring, have the parade at Dodger Stadium, right? Oh, so ratings are up across the board. 29% for Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, 31% for TBS, 34% for MLB.TV. Ratings among the key demographic 18 to 25 are up. Oh, you probably just mean attendance then. You have to mean attendance because no one even cares about going to their home ballpark anymore and seeing their local team play because they say, what's the point of going to see baseball anymore? Because the Dodgers have won the World Series already, right? Oh, 71 plus million fans went to a Major League Baseball game last year, setting a new all-time record. What exactly are you talking about as far as the Dodgers being worse for baseball? Because the truth is more people are interested in baseball on a national level and on an international level than we've ever seen in recent memory in this era. In 2023, when the Rangers played the Diamondbacks in the World Series, that was the least viewed, least watched, most irrelevant World Series in Major League Baseball history. And then what happened that offseason? The biggest star in the sport signed with the Dodgers, and then the Dodgers have gone back to back, and you had a great series with the Dodgers and the Yankees, and then you had an international series with the Dodgers and the Blue Jays, and more people care about baseball now than they did 2 years ago. So what exactly are you talking about? And then you say the Dodgers, what they're doing is worse than sign stealing? Really? You mean winning with great players and having great moments and having all-time great series is worse than having a series where you had to cheat to win? To steal signs? I forgot what I was going to say next. You stole my next thought. Just like the Astros did the 2017 World Series. So the truth of the matter is the Dodgers are not bad for baseball. They're quite literally saving baseball from falling behind the NFL, from falling behind college football, from falling behind the NBA and college basketball and Netflix and chill and Hulu and hang. I don't even know if that's a thing, or Disney Plus. Like, there's so many ways to captivate your interest now. And the Dodgers, being a dynasty, having the best player in the game, an international superstar playing in a major market for an iconic franchise, has made this sport thrive on levels we have not seen. And if this guy's going to go out there and Karen the Dodgers and complain and cry, keep that same energy and just take what you're saying and copy and paste it and send it to the broke owners in Major League Baseball. And of course, they're not financially broke, but they've got a broke boy mindset where they're just trying to profit as much as they can. The Dodgers are reinvesting in their organization. They're reinvesting and they're rewarding their fans. They're rewarding their players, and they want to achieve all-time greatness. So they certainly are not bad for baseball. They are not worse for baseball. What's worse for baseball is that there are not more teams and owners like the Dodgers that are doing this thing right. What we have with the Dodgers is the smart guy is the rich guy, and he's making the right decisions and he's spending the right way. So I will say this to this Michael Schwab guy. You sound like an idiot. You're ignorant to the facts. Just say you hate the Dodgers. Just say you're mad and you're jealous about the Dodgers. I would respect that. I would respect that a lot more from all these fans out there of other teams that are trying to say the Dodgers are ruining baseball. I would respect them so much more if they just said, you know what, man, I hate those guys. I hate Dodger Blue. I hate seeing Shohei Ohtani win. I hate that. Instead of this BS, false, uninformed, ignorant narrative that what they're doing is bad for baseball. My man, you sound like a moron, and you sound like you don't know the facts. So he's the DFA of the day.
DFA of the day.
All right, so let's get into this team and this franchise and what this move means for LA. So Kyle Tucker's a Dodger, and yes, I see it all the time. The Dodgers are, they're such a stacked lineup. It's like rooting for the Harlem Globetrotters at this point. You know what? Here's the thing. It's not the Harlem Globetrotters, because that you can script. Like that you can script. It's totally different. And yes, the Dodgers have all the Infinity Stones, right? There's 6 Infinity Stones. I think Andrew Friedman needs to get another Infinity Gauntlet. He needs like double Infinity Gauntlet because he has more than 6 Infinity Stones, right? Who are the Infinity Stones? You got Shohei Ohtani, you got Yoshinobu Yamamoto, you've got Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, you've got Blake Snell, you got Kyle Tucker, and then you've got more stars on that, right? It's more stars on the Dodgers than you see at a red carpet for a movie premiere here in Hollywood, right? But here's the thing. You still have to win in a sport that there's a lot of just baseball being baseball, and there's no guarantee. I don't think the Dodgers is the Infinity Stones, because here's the thing about this. If the Dodgers were the Infinity Stones, well, then they'd be unbeatable, right? You couldn't beat them, because the only way the Avengers beat Thanos is they had to go back in time. And last time I checked, we are not going to see the Pym particles in the quantum realm and the time GPS and the time heist. And you're not going to see that reverse snap, because that doesn't exist. Now, if you want to say the Dodgers are more like the Death Star, that makes a little more sense, because the Death Star had that weakness. It had that station that had the small exhaust port, that design flaw that was engineered to lead directly to the reactor core, right? You can beat any baseball team, but you better be accurate, right? You better have Luke Skywalker there and trigger that wild chain reaction the way that he did by hitting that small unprotected thermal exhaust port that led directly to that main reactor. So that to me is injuries. That to me is baseball flukiness, right? Any team as great as they are still has to go out there and win. And I look at last year's team and Miguel Rojas hitting that home run, right? And Will Klein having the moment that he had. Shout out to Mango the Cat, by the way, right? For as many stars as you have, and baseball is the sport where one of the non-superstars typically has to come through in a big moment for you to have success. So guess what? For everyone out there, and I've talked to some Dodgers fans, Noel, that actually feel guilty. They kind of feel guilty. They're like, hey, like, this is a little too much. Like, I mean, are we that too dominant? And to them, I say, when did you become a Dodgers fan? Because did you live through the McCourt era? Did you live through the 90s when they did absolutely nothing? Did you live through the Fox ownership group when they're absolutely irrelevant? Do you realize that you went from 1988 to 2004 with essentially nothing until Lima time had a win in an NLDS series against the Cardinals that you ultimately lost that series? Did you not experience every single fan base saying that the Dodgers always choke in the postseason and Clayton Kershaw can't get it done in the postseason, and you're spending all of this money just to lose? They activated a monster. You asked for this, Major League Baseball fans out there. You asked for this. And the Dodgers are simply operating on an elite level when it comes to roster construction and signing the right guy. So I have absolutely no guilt. I want more. Hey, keeping on the Star Wars tip here, Kylo Ren. More titles, more free agent signings, more trades. Give me Tarek Skubal. I want to go 162-0 and beat teams 20-0 because we know what it felt like to get our butts kicked and hear how this was an organization of chokers. So no mercy, all gas, no brakes. It's time to three-peat and go after more titles. And that's what the organization is thinking as well. So getting into Kyle Tucker, though, getting into the nitty-gritty here, 10 things you need to know. 10 things to need to know about Kyle Tucker. Now, on the very basic level about Tuck, number one is this is a record-setting contract. His deal is for 4 years, $240 million. It includes opt-outs after the second and third seasons. His deal comes with $30 million in deferrals. Yeah, $30 million deferred. So it's the Los Angeles deferrals. And that gives the contract a present day annual value at $57.1 million. So $57.1 million in present day value. That beats Juan Soto's $51 million AAV that he set with the Mets. And that sets the contract, because the Dodgers are already on track to go past MLB's highest luxury tax threshold in 2026, which would activate a 110% average overage, and then now it's going to cost him $119.9 million. So because of the fact that that $57.1 million is actually taxed at 110% rate, he's costing $119.9 million. And Tucker, even at $60 million a year, he'd be the second highest paid contract in MLB history in just straight up value behind Shohei Ohtani. And now the two highest are on the same team in Shohei and Kyle Tucker. But with those deferrals, the average AAV goes down to $57.1 million. So now the top three is Kyle Tucker, Juan Soto, and Shohei Ohtani. And before you tell me, oh, Kyle Tucker isn't the player that Juan Soto and Shohei Ohtani are, well, that's why he signed a shorter term deal with a higher AAV. If he was getting a 10-year deal or a 14-year deal like we saw Shohei Ohtani and Juan Soto sign, he would not be getting this AAV. So don't get caught up in that. in the player comparisons because he's not Ohtani, he's not Aaron Judge, but still he deserves a lot because of how premium that position is for what they needed. So, I mean, you look at kind of how this plays out here and why this makes so much sense for the Dodgers and the record-setting contract is you want to give them that money because you look at the need, you look at the free agent market last year, and you look at the free agent market next year, and this is a perfect fit to what you're trying to do. And for most teams, Kyle Tucker would not be a great signing at that price. I don't even think he'd be a great signing for the price that the Mets were offering him. And the Mets were certainly aggressive towards Kyle Tucker. They offered him a deal where it felt like they were going to get him. The Mets had reportedly offered him a deal in the $50 million a year range, but a lot of people kind of put into question whether or not he would want to go to New York. And the deferrals definitely, I think, kind of helped trigger something. But from what I was told is the opt-out and the opt-outs of the Dodgers included at the end really got them over the finish line. Because the Dodgers typically do not like to include the opt-outs. You've seen it with Yamamoto, but typically they don't want to do that. And they get Kyle Tucker in his age 29 to 31 seasons, will be 32. So you get him in his absolute prime so he can opt out after his second year and his third year. So it made a ton of sense from that standpoint. There's no reason why you should feel bad about that because with the deferrals, there's been so much conversation about that. Like the truth is, with the deferrals, I kind of want to point something out. Like, for example, everyone says, oh, you're paying Shohei Ohtani $2 million a year, and you don't have to pay him $68 million until you do that annually from 2034 to 2043. But there's rules about this. It's not like you can just say, oh, that money is gone, and we'll worry about that when we get there. No. As the CBA states, the teams have to set aside that money to cover any deferred contracts that they're going to have to pay down the road. So the money is already set aside. They just don't have to pay it. Andrew Friedman said about the Shohei Ohtani deferrals and things like that, it's just how you account for it. You have to fund a lot of it right now and having that money go to work for you. A lot of our ownership group, they're from financial backgrounds and can have that money going and working right now and not something that sneaks up on us. We're not going to wake up in 2035 and say, oh my God, that's right. There's this money due. We'll plan for it along the way. So they've already had to plan for that and they have to plan for the deferrals with Kyle Tucker. So that's kind of the situation there. So it is a record-setting contract. And I get it. Like a lot of people are seeing this dollar amount and saying, Kyle Tucker got that kind of money. He doesn't deserve that kind of money. No, but he's worth that on the Dodgers when you include the fact that they had a need and he's going to be hitting in this lineup. And then you add the fact that they're going to three-peat. It's like if you're a billionaire and you're going to have like the best party ever, you hire like the best DJ and you hire all the Kobe beef and caviar and all the drinks. And you've already paid for like a big performance there. You're going to have like Bruno Mars perform at your party and all that stuff. Like, if there's like another thing that you have to pick up for that party, like you're not going to really freak out about it, right? You're not going to freak out about having the glass go all over the pool. You're not going to freak out after just adding more things to it. And that's what the Dodgers are doing. They're trying to have the best party that they can have, and they're going to spare no expense to get it. So for him, he actually makes sense there. Now, other thing you need to know, the third thing, he was injured in 2025. His only season in Chicago, he had some ups, he had some downs. He got out to a fantastic start. He had 12 home runs the first couple of months of the season up until June. And then he jammed his right thumb diving into second on a stolen base attempt. He did not go on the IL, but they did find out in testing after the fact that he had suffered a tiny fracture on his top hand between his ring finger and his pinky. And the hand injury, they said, it's not a big deal. We're going to let him play. But then the performance started to go down. And that didn't happen right away because the next couple of weeks, he actually performed well. He was hitting .311 for his next 25 games. And then all of a sudden in July, his performance just dropped off a cliff. He was hitting 189, had just one home run in the next 6 weeks. And then they realized, hey, like this is impacting him at the plate. And then ultimately, Craig Counsell, the manager of the Cubs, he ended up giving him what he called a mental reset at the end of August. And then they put him down in the order. And then eventually he would come back and suffer something with his calf and his season was over. So what I want to point out here, and the reason why I think this is relevant, is because of the injuries that he suffered last season, that's the only reason why he's not getting a $400+ million deal with the team. Had Kyle Tucker stayed healthy for the duration of the 2025 season, he's getting the big bag. He's getting $400+ million. So, of course, I hate injuries, but stuff has to happen. Like there's a little bit of nuance and context here that stuff has to happen for these kinds of players to fall into your lap. And you can't overlook the fact that that's the case. And other reason I point this out is for anyone kind of looking at his numbers saying, oh, he's fallen off. Oh, he was playing injured last year. And when he was injured, he was one of the best hitters in Major League Baseball. Now, fourth thing you need to know is this. Now, this morning, I reached out to a couple of former Astros players. I know, like D-Mac, you know some former Astros players. Don't ask how and why. But guys that I know that have played with Kyle Tucker. And I asked them specifically, hey, what is it with this narrative that Kyle Tucker doesn't love baseball? Is there any truth to that? And here's exactly what they told me. Quote, he's extremely dedicated and always focused on getting better. The Dodgers got a great player that will fit in with Ohtani, Mookie, and Freddie because he loves to work. He likes to show up, do his work, and be great at baseball. So I think that's the question I'm probably going to ask Kyle Tucker at the press conference, whenever that is. I'm assuming it's going to be Tuesday. Did you hear this narrative about you that you don't love baseball or that you don't work hard or things like that? I'm very curious as to what he would say. It's kind of a bold question there, right? I mean, we got to frame it the right way.
But it's good too though, because you're giving him the chance to kind of head at that, because it was coming up a lot this offseason. So you would give him the opportunity to clear the air on that and kind of give Dodger fans a fresh perspective, bringing him in.
And I think too, it's like, it'd be one thing if it was like a couple people saying that. Like I honestly, we could spend a day putting a compilation together. It feels like every single major, I mean, outside of Jeff Passett, right? Every single major outlet was like, oh, he doesn't love baseball. There's Anthony Rendon vibes. Da-da-da. Like, where did that originate from? Because like I said, I communicated with two actual players on his team. Like, until I see someone on his team that says that, and before I see that narrative kind of grow, I'm going to assume that the dude's been great. How could you be like, first of all, I'd be just jealous as hell. Like, imagine being that great at something you don't love.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Like, I mean, I don't know well. He watches sports 24/7, whether it's baseball, whether it's basketball. He loves rap and fashion, this and that. You love that stuff, right?
Exactly.
And you're good at it because you love it, right?
Exactly.
I mean, I'd be awesome to just like be so awesome if somebody did like if he was actually in love with the sport, would he be better than Shohei and Aaron Judge? Is that what they're saying? So
like, the success he had such early in his career too, it's like you can't achieve that without loving the sport.
Yeah, I mean, look, Anthony Rendon had a lot of success with the Nationals, and he signed that big deal, and he fell off, right? But you could kind of tell with the way he treated the media when Anthony Rendon was asked one time, Anthony Rendon, I'm so happy he's Anthony Rendon. He was asked one time, like, what do you need to do to like improve this offense and get more hits with runners in scoring position? You ever see that one?
No, I didn't
and
see that one.
He's in front of reporters. He's like, you see this thing? It's made of wood. This thing, it's called a bat. What we need to do is when the pitcher has that thing, it's called a baseball. It has those red seams. It's made of leather there in cowhide. When it comes this direction, we need to hit that white thing with this piece of wood into the direction where there's no defenders and then score runs. And that way we'll score more runs.
That is insane.
Like, show me a Kyle Tucker clip where he's rude to the media and saying things like that.
Is insane.
And then two, on top of everything else, there's this, is Kyle Tucker is going to be incentivized to go and play his best baseball because he can opt out after the second year and after the third year, right? So if he wants to continue his career and make another bag, he's got to play well. And I don't think Dodgers fans necessarily care if he loves it or not, but now there's going to be pressure, man. Like, you got a big contract. He's signed up for a franchise that has the most rabid fans in the sport. If he's not good, they're going to let him know about it. So I think I just cannot wait for him to kind of to show that different side of him, kind of like we've seen with Shohei Ohtani. And I think the Dodgers can bring the best out of him. I think he's going to find his way in that clubhouse. That's the other thing. Other thing you need to know, let's keep moving here. The Dodgers salary cap and how that'll impact the team. So the Dodgers will have to give up multiple draft picks. The Dodgers salary is pretty insane. So once Tucker is officially added, the Dodgers are going to have 22 players under contract for the 2026 season. And right now, with the minor league salaries, with the pre-arbitration bonus pool, with the team benefits, with things like that, their payroll for competitive balance tax, that's going to be north of $385 million. So the first CBT threshold in 2026 is $244 million, but the highest one is $304 million. So everything past that is going to be taxed at 110% rate. Last season, the Dodgers had to pay $169.4 million on a $417.3 million payroll, and it's going to go up. And because of that, it's going to impact the Dodgers and the draft picks. And I've seen some people freak out about this, like, oh, is this going to hurt their sustainability? Oh, what is going to happen to the Dodgers farm system? Well, he's one of 9 free agents that rejected the qualifying offer. And any team that signs one of those players, they have to lose draft picks. And the Dodgers, as a competitive balance taxpayer, after signing a guy that rejected the QO, well, they are definitely going to lose picks. So the Dodgers are in a position where this was inevitable because we already saw it with Edwin Diaz. And Edwin Diaz, he's another guy that rejected the qualifying offer. Kyle Tucker rejected the qualifying offer. So the Dodgers, they're going to have to forfeit their 3rd, 5th, and 6th highest picks in the summer draft in a few months from now. They'll also have to pay both of them more than double in taxes. And they don't care. They really don't. The Dodgers' first round pick typically, obviously, would be 30th because they won the World Series. But because they went past the 3rd competitive balance tax threshold and they smoked past the 4th, that's the highest, they're going to see their first pick go 10 slots to 40th overall. And we saw that in 2022 for the Dodgers. We saw that in 2024. So they're losing draft picks. I'm going to tell you why this means nothing. And I'm going to tell you why they didn't care. Because it doesn't matter where they pick. They're going to find hidden gems. And on top of that, they are going to trade some of the players on their 40-man roster to replenish their farm system. We saw them do that when they traded Gavin Lux. They got Sirota. They got Mike Sirota from the Reds. He is an emerging prospect. We saw it with Michael Busch. They traded him, and they got Jackson Ferris and Zaire Hope, 2 of their top 5 prospects. We saw even in a in-season deal with Dustin May and Hunter Fiducia, they got 4 minor leaguers in that trade. One of them was a first-round pick in 2024 in James Tibbs. They're going to be just fine. They're going to flip the guys on their roster that aren't the kind of prospects that they think can actually help them. And then they're going to flip their bad prospects that other teams might think are good prospects and get the other team's bad prospects and turn them into their great prospects. And those guys are either going to help this team or they're going to be packaged in a deal to address a need at the trade deadline or the offseason. So that is where that is not going to be a massive issue. And here's the thing too. You just know that 4th pick. You know that 4th pick is going to be an absolute fire pick. Like whoever it's going to be, man, like the guy they get in the fourth round will end up having more success their fourth pick is going to have more success than a lot of guys' first pick just because they're so good at scouting and identifying talent. They really are. And for me, it's simple. Like, don't be a prospect hugger. What do I say? Prospects, they are lottery tickets. Parades over prospects. Ask yourself this. What would you rather have? A 3rd and 6th round pick or 2 years of Kyle Tucker? Okay? Think about this. What the Cubs gave up for Isaac Paredes and Cam Smith for just 1 year and things like that, the Dodgers, well, look where they get Kyle Tucker for just straight money, right? So, hey, this is a winning strategy. And then the other thing you need to know, too, it's going to impact you in international bonus pool money. So a team's draft, when they have the bonus pool, you got the slot values and all the signing bonuses for the first 10 rounds. They count that against the pool. So basically, without getting too into the granular nitty-gritty here, the Dodgers are going to have less money to spend in international bonus pool money in the signing period than any year that we've seen in a while, right? If you look at where the Dodgers are at in 2026, for the estimates, it's at $3.8 million. And basically, it's going to be their lowest bonus pool in 16 years with the draft slotting system. So they had one in 2022 and 2021, and they're just going to lose money. They're not worried about it because they got their guys. Now, the next thing you need to know is they could trade Teoscar Hernandez. And I don't think it's likely that they're going to trade Teoscar Hernandez, but in Aldo Gonzalez's piece about Teo, he did say that even though they don't believe that it's something they're going to do urgently, it's not outside of the realm of possibility. It is certainly something, depending on how everything goes. Does another team inquire about him? Do they feel like he can be a fit in left field? Do they think he's going to bounce back? He's still owed $33 million. I think they should still keep Teoscar Hernandez. I want to see Teo throwing the sunflower seeds on Kyle Tucker after a home run. And I think that if you are the Dodgers in this situation, you got to consider the postseason. You can't just completely look at what they do in the regular season and the postseason. Understand there's that magic element, right? Like Kike Hernandez is somehow going to make this roster and be a part of this team, things like that. So, but it is a possibility. It's not impossible. And that's the thing you really need to know. Now, would you trade Teoscar Hernandez? Let me know. We'll talk about that during the 7th inning stretch. But at least right now, what Aldo Gonzalez said was, quote, a source familiar with the team's thinking said that it's not necessarily a foregone conclusion. The team can easily shift Hernandez from right field to left, with Andy Paz remaining the everyday center fielder and utility man Tommy Edman coming off ankle surgery and Trench as the second baseman. So I think one of the major benefits of this is we've talked about that farm system, which, by the way, is widely considered to be either 1, 2, or 3 in all Major League Baseball. But had you have missed out on Tucker, you would have either had to pivot to an inferior hitter compared to him in Cody Bellinger and pay him a lot of money, or a Harrison Bader who has had one good offensive season, or trade top prospects for Jarren Duran. I spoke to some sources with the Red Sox. They told me that the Dodgers checked in with the Red Sox on Duran, and they wanted Emmet Sheehan, went to Boston College, and they also wanted Dalton Rushing, who was formerly their top prospect. For Jarren Duran, you would have to give a lot for Stephen Kwan, who I don't understand why people thought Stephen Kwan made any sense. Stephen Kwan is a left fielder, doesn't hit for power. He gets the bat to ball. But guess what? You now get what you wanted in Stephen Kwan from a better player in Kyle Tucker, and you didn't have to give up prospects, and you just use all the money that you're making. So they basically got Stephen Kwan times 10, and he's a right fielder, which is a more premium defensive position than Stephen Kwan that would have forced you to keep Teo in left. and Teo in right because he's a better left fielder. So Steven Kwan didn't make sense. Brendan Donovan, good player, but it's not like he's a platoon option with Ryan Ward because they're both lefties. So this was the perfect case scenario, is you got to keep your prospects, you sign your guy, and it's more credit to them. Now, another thing to consider too, as far as freeing up the spot on the roster, I do think they need to make a trade. I think the Dodgers are in a position now where either you're going to make a trade because you want to free Ryan Ward because he's earned that opportunity, and if there's other clubs out there that want to give him some runway in the outfield, you can have Ryan Ward be this year's Michael Busch, be this year's Gavin Lux, be this year's Dustin May, be one of those prospects that you did draft and you did develop and you did see a path to him getting some playing time for you. But if you want to replenish that farm system and continue to get prospects, especially if you go after Tarek Skubal at the deadline, which you know they will, well, they got to make a trade. So if it's Teo, I think that's unlikely. It's not impossible. Ryan Ward makes more sense. And there's the other guys too. There's the Bobby Millers, the Landon Knacks. Do you trade some of that pitching depth? But I fully expect them to make a trade for some prospects that they're not going to keep on the 40-man roster, and they can develop them and they can load up because you missed out on those draft picks that you had to forfeit with the signings of Edwin Diaz and Kyle Tucker. So walk with me now. I know it's a lot of stuff, but I'm trying to make sure you're locked TF in on this show. So other thing you need to know, number 7, he addresses a major need. So we talked about how great of a player he is, and the Dodgers basically had their biggest need was outfield production. We've talked about on this show. They had the 18th ranked outfield. You had negative WAR at a lot of different positions with Michael Conforto. But now with Kyle Tucker, you get a top 10 player and a top 5 outfielder in the sport. You pair him now with Andy Pages, and just to throw it out there, last season you had 4.3 WAR on Fangraphs last year with your outfield. 4.3. 4.1 of that was Andy Pages. Now just imagine if Kyle Tucker has a top, a 5 or 6 WAR season. That 4 WAR is now in double digits. And then if you get a better version of Teoscar Hernandez in left field, now you're talking about 10 to 15 WAR from 4 WAR last year. So it's a massive improvement. And when you look at Kyle Tucker, the hitter, he is top 10. So since the start of the 2021 season, Kyle Tucker is the 10th best hitter in baseball based on weighted runs created plus, meaning he's 43% above league average offensively. Who are the hitters in front of him since 2022? Since 2021. Who's ahead of him? So from 2021 till 2025, who's ahead of him? Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Bryce Harper, Freddie Freeman, Mike Trout, Ronald Acuna Jr., Juan Soto, Yordan Alvarez, Shohei Ohtani, and Aaron Judge. Who's behind him? Corey Seager, Mookie Betts, Matt Olson, Jose Altuve, Jose Ramirez, Kyle Schwarber, Yandy Diaz, Byron Buxton, Rafi Devers, Brandon Belt, and then Fernando Tatis Jr., right? And then you look at home runs. He's a guy that it has 134 home runs in that span. That's 23rd. But he can get you 25 to 30 home runs. He can steal you 20 bases. He's going to hit doubles. And what you love about Tuck is he gets on base. He can draw his walks. He has a 365 on base percentage in that stretch. That's 11th in baseball. So this is a guy that walks more than he strikes out in most cases. He's going to be able to bring that dynamic that he can get his bat on the baseball and put the ball in play. And sometimes we see this Dodgers lineup when they get in droughts, it's because there's too much boom or bust. Like I said, they've been looking for a more contact-oriented hitter, and they got really the best version of a contact-oriented hitter in King Tuck. Okay, next thing you need to know is that his spot in the lineup is going to be really fascinating. And I think there's a couple ways you can do this lineup. I've been kind of making it in my head for the last couple of days, but you've got the way where you stagger the lineup like they traditionally like to do. And I look at what they did in Game 6 of the World Series by putting Mookie Betts at cleanup. What if you did Ohtani, Smith, Tucker, Betts, Freeman, Teo, Muncy, Pages, Edman. That way you got left, right, left, right, left, right. The only issue here is Freeman has to bat fifth. What I think they'll end up doing is having Kyle Tucker and Freddie Freeman bat right next to each other. And I think because Kyle Tucker's a better runner, I would have Kyle Tucker bat third and Freddie fourth. So Tuck third, Freddie fourth. They're both good against lefties compared to most hitters. They both have pretty balanced splits. I would go Shohei. I still want to get Mookie Betts another crack at it to start the season. If it doesn't work, then you put Will Smith in the 2-hole. Other thing to consider there is the fact that Will Smith is going to be load managed, so you're not going to get that cohesive lineup as much, but I'm willing to give it an opportunity, to give it a try. But either Mookie or Will Smith in the 2-hole, but I would go Shohei 1, Mookie 2, Tuck 3, Freddie 4, then Will Smith 5, Muncy 6th, Teo 7, and then go Pages, then Edman in some configuration like that. Look, I'll put money that's the opening day lineup right now. So that's kind of the decision that they're going to have to make. So he absolutely addresses that major need. But all right, guys, coming up next, we got the designated Twitter. Jam-packed show, man. This is where we need to be, man. The Dodgers ruining baseball, one free agent signing at a time. And this one, it got the Twitter streets in a tizzy. Yeah. So let's get into some designated Twitter. I got Noel. He has got these loaded up, and I can't wait to see what we got here. So let's hit that up next. Designated Twitter, the best of Dodgers social media. All right, let's just rock with these tweets here.
If you wanted to, you could hit a commercial, and then we have some super chat.
You get a commercial, super chats? Okay, sounds good.
With that LA Sports special.
Okay, cool. And let's read a super chat real quick though. This is $19.99. I feel like this is right to the top here. We can go over the hour, guys. I mean, this is a celebration of another big free agent sign. It's a special edition of Dodgers Dugout Live. $19.99 from Stavi Porter. D-Mac, it's been a while. We run it back. 3-peat, never sounded so sweet. LFG. Stavi's a poet and he doesn't even know it. Dropping bars here. All right, so when we come back, guys, we got the designated Twitter segment. And then in the 7th inning stretch, I'm going to read all your thoughts, comments, and questions about your Los Angeles Dodgers.
LA is the sports capital of the world. The Lakers have entered their Luka Doncic era. LeBron doesn't just want a farewell tour, he wants a farewell title. The Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. Go, Kings, go. The Dodgers are the best run franchise in all of professional sports. Shohei Ohtani is the GOAT. Steve Ballmer will do anything to get the Clippers a championship. Mick Cronin has to win a national championship at UCLA. Justin Herbert is a top 5 quarterback in this league. College football is just better when USC is good. This whole city has the Mamba mentality. I love LA.
Live from the heart of Los Angeles, this is the LA Sports Report with your host, Doug McKain.
All right, so go win a Kyle Tucker jersey. Subscribe to the LA Sports Report, and you are eligible to win as soon as they drop. We're going to get it at the Universal City Dodgers Clubhouse. Noel's friend, Lupe.
Bro, that's where you try to rob them. Remember?
I did try to rob them,
that
yes.
was crazy.
Yeah, I did. That guy was not happy about it. I was trying to stuff everything in the bag. I was trying to rob them. Yeah, we got to do another one. We should have done another one. I forgot about that. That was good times. But all right, we got some super chats here. We got Daniel Cesar, $9.99 super chat. Give you some love here. Shout out to my fellow Dodgers fans who watch Fox let Adrian Beltre leave, dealt with McCourt, being McCourt, the 2017 Trash Rose, to finally being able to experience this. Dues were paid, 3-peat incoming. That's like comment of the show. That gets me fired up, baby. Don't forget what they did to us. We used to pray for times like this. And now we're living in it, so enjoy it, Dodgers Nation. 499 D-Mac, do you feel Tuck will stay all 4 years or get his ring and opt out after year 2? I mean, it's a fair question. I think that the Dodgers, they got their outfielder for 2026, and that's what they care about. And they got him for 2027, and that's what they care about. I think if he does opt out, that probably means that they probably either got to or won the World Series one of those years. That probably means that you feel like that was a good signing at that point because he's put himself in a position to re-enter to the market and sign a deal at 31. So, look, I think it gives them some flexibility on both sides. It really, truly does. You get the flexibility on both sides knowing that. We've got Breeze, Ava, Flowin, 499, Odianos Mas. Let's go Dodge. Did I say that right? Odianos. What is that?
It's like a celebration.
I know my Spanish. I got a C plus in Spanish 1. So I mean, I should know that. Odianos. C. Do you think another trade will happen? Yeah. Like as I said, 1-9. I think they're going to clear someone off the 40 man. I think they're going to trade one of these guys and they're going to get some prospects, and that's how they're going to make up for having to forfeit those draft picks that they did in these signings. But all right, we'll get back to the super chats. We're going to do extended. Do you guys want to see an extended show today? Because it's Kyle Tucker, LTG. Let's tuck and go. Is it the celebration day? Let's go. You guys will see some bonus time for sure. All right, but let's do it. The best of Dodgers social media here on Designated Twitter.
Designated Twitter, the best of Dodgers social media.
All right, I can't wait to see this because the cool thing about this is Noel, he scours social media. He's a social media guru. And so a lot of these I haven't seen. So that's what I love about it. It's kind of a surprise. So we're kind of experiencing this together. But first, what's the first one we got, Noel?
Where?
All right, we got Evan Daniel, A+ use of this
Where?
clip. Are we going to play the clip? Okay, this is awesome. So for my office heads
Where,
out
Dwight?
there, this is absolute perfection. I want to give credit to Nighthawk saying a quote.
Let me run it back real quick.
Let's run that back. All right, ready, go.
Where? Where? Where, Dwight?
Seems like you already know where.
And of course, the question was, you want to know where the Kyle Tucker signed. Like, you want to guess who signed him, and it was like, where? And you always knew where it was going to be, right? The Dodgers. All right, next one we got Shooter McGavin, every MLB manager talking to their team before facing the Dodgers next year. And we got another office clip. Here's Michael Scott. You want to run this one?
All I can do right now is put on a brave face and go out there and be their leader.
It's over.
Yeah. No, you know what? That's what I want to do one of those reels, Noel, where I do like the POV. And it's like POV, you're facing the Dodgers, and it's like Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, it's like you're a prospect getting called up to.
Yeah.
Those are funny.
You should. How much you do? Was Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, and like the slow mo.
Yeah. Yamamoto. All right, what else we got? We've got
Not anymore, though, is it?
Austin Donnelly saying everybody seemed like they were having a great time getting all them jokes off in 2022 and 2023. Okay, now let's run this. Let's remember the Titans clip, it looks like. I love that. First of all, remember the Titans. Shout out to Denzel Washington, who, fun fact, is producer Robert's favorite actor of all time. Got to give him some love for that. Denzel Washington.
Robert disappeared.
Did Robert disappear? Okay. Who's your favorite actor of all time, Noel?
All time is a good question. I would probably have to go with Andrew Garfield.
Wow.
Yeah, he's in a bunch of my favorite movies. He's in The Social Network, my favorite movie ever. He's my favorite Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man. He also just did a movie this year with Julia Roberts that was really good.
I got to go Al Pacino or Leo DiCaprio.
Yeah, Leo's up
or Marlon Brando, because I'm a big Godfather guy. I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse. I'm a reasonable man.
Timmy's getting up there though.
Timmy, I still got to see Marty Supreme, but I've heard good things about it. Who's a good actor is Carlos Correa, acting like he's not a cheater, even though we know he is. Okay, random. I feel like it's fun to it's like, I love the fact to Astros fans, we kind of got your guy too. Like, don't forget, the Blue Jays lose, the Astros lose, Cubs, whatever. But I love the fact that the Trastros have to see a player that they loved and wish they could sign with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Okay, what else we got? I'm going to make him an offer. We got Baloo, Kadek, Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani, chill out. It's only been a minute. Okay, this is great. So I'm guessing here that did Shohei Ohtani follow him right away?
Right after he signed.
I love that. Shohei Ohtani really, he probably has a person that it's their job, and he probably said, okay, wait for Kyle Tucker to sign. When he does, make sure you follow him. So
I don't know. I kind of picture D-Mac. Like, I kind of picture Shohei like laying in bed with Dequan in his chest, his daughter to the side, just like scrolling. And then he gets the call. Like, we got him. He's like, okay. And then he just went and followed him.
Yeah, I think that's probably, I bet you he's a little more casual than we even think he is. Yeah. I would find it hard to believe that he heard the news when we all did too, right? I think that there's definitely a Shohei Ohtani angle to this, and we know that. All right, what else we got? We've got Evil Empire, an ethical super team versus a non-ethical bot super team. Okay, you can say what you want. I'm not going to rant for days on this one, but it has Chet Holmgren and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and of course, this Dodgers team where all of these guys were either signed through free agency or all of these guys were either traded for, with Mookie Betts being traded and signed. And look, I mean, hey, you guys can say whatever you want, but the truth is, if you want to say this team is not ethical or not bought the right way, the Dodgers, they built this organization from the ground up, and it stems from decades ago, and that's why we have this. And shout out to the fans for being a reason why they have this roster they do. All right, what else we got? We've got June Lee, the Dodgers building their roster. Check out with Affirm. Yeah, that's of course a Los Angeles deferrals joke and deferring money. And look, they play the game the way it's supposed to be played, and they're operating within the rules. But yeah, here's the big difference, though. It's like the Dodgers. It's not like they have to do it, right? They're just smart with it. When you're buying something on Affirm, it's usually like something that you really can't afford anyway. You know what I mean? So I love it, though. It's hilarious. What else we got? We got Madison. Someone commented, I can't even do this on the show. Yeah, this is video game stuff. This is like being in a fantasy baseball league and there's like 2 people in the league and all of you guys have like great players, right? I mean, did you see how they had the combined lineup? The Dodgers salary is more than the Team USA WBC.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's hey man, hide the money, y'all. The broke people are around. Shout out to the Chappelle Show. What else we got? Chelsea Janes. So she's the one who said the Dodgers had the world more
bigger for you. Pause.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much. Come on, man.
Bruh. I pause the show.
Oh, okay. Pause the show. Okay. Deepest of cuts, but at the media availability before the 2023 All-Star Game, Kyle Tucker's table was right next to Shohei Ohtani's, and the crowd from Ohtani was so big he had to slide his table over and joke about how no one wanted to talk to him. If you're a low-key guy, who? So, look, sure, that makes sense. And that's one of the things that was the big storylines about Kyle Tucker is that he didn't want to be the face of the franchise. And with the Dodgers, he's going to be one of the faces of the franchise, but doesn't have to be the guy. But I think that we're going to see, I'm pushing back on this whole idea that we're not going to see a version of Kyle Tucker that I think we didn't see in Chicago and Houston. I think that he's going to kind of show his personality more here like we saw with Shohei Ohtani. And as we got, okay, John J. Mincone over on the X. So Aaron Judge is on the most team-friendly contract in history of sports contracts, and that will never change. Yeah, I mean, look, Judge was older, though, so that's kind of what it is. But yeah, Judge is on a contract that is very favorable for sure. We've got Bob Stu. I don't want to hear the Dodgers are good for baseball. They've literally built their entire team by taking stars from every roster, haven't developed crap. They're a team full of ring-chasing mercenaries, horrible for sports. They're a team full of guys that want to pursue World Series titles, get paid, and be an organization that's first class in every single thing they do. The truth of the matter is that the organizations that these teams were, where you got Kyle Tucker and you got Freddie Freeman, they should be on these teams, but they don't want to pay up. The Dodgers, they're willing to pay, and teams want to play with the Dodgers. So I think it's ridiculous. They didn't steal anyone. I mean, I guess it's all relative, right? But hey, they were opportunistic, and that was pretty funny how they were downplaying this entire season because there was heavy lifting. I mean, they went to the gym and they got on the creatine, the pre-workout, and they maxed out at like 350, and they put on some more plates. And yeah, they definitely was some heavy lifting for sure. Anything else we got? Here's the jam-packed one. Dan Garcia, Dan Greca. At this point, I'm surprised John Harbaugh just didn't pick the Dodgers also. I like that one. I like the one where it said that the Dodgers have just signed Jesus Christ of Bethlehem.
I got one more for you, D.
All right, here we go. Here's the finale. We've got Mike Janela. MLB has now announced the new 2026 All-Star Game format to feature AL, NL All-Stars versus Los Angeles Dodgers. Has this not been my idea for years?
That's why I brought it up.
I mean, this would seriously, like, they're not going to do this, but this would be the most watched All-Star game in the history of All-Star games if Major League Baseball could do that. The reason why it's not a possibility, though, is like, if you're the Dodgers, why would you compromise all those arms when other teams don't need to? But, man, that would make for good TV. All right, guys. So that was pretty awesome. Great job, Noel, as always. Got me rolling. But now let's get back to the chat. So now you guys can fire away. Give me all your thoughts, comments, and questions about your boys in blue here on the 7th inning stretch.
The 7th inning stretch.
All right, we got Roman Velasquez, 199 Dodgers made a promise to Shohei before signing him. Yes, and they are coming through on that promise, as they said they would. Chris Navarro, this calls for King Tacos per D-Max tab. Yeah, King Tacos for King Tuck. I like that. It's a nice little promo there. PTR Turbo, Tucker should wear 60 as the $60 million AAV man. Yeah, what I said yesterday, he should wear 57.1, right? Wear 57. I want to say that Ryan Brazier wore 57, I think. Right? I think wasn't Luis Garcia 57 too? I believe he was. Yeah. So that'd be kind of funny. We're 57 for 57 million AV. 60 would be cool. 60 would be cool. Of course, you're not going to take 30. I had people ask me yesterday, will he wear 30? Well, one, he's blank on that video, right? And then Dave Roberts is wearing 30.
What if he goes no number?
You go no number. Those are the kind of like the ones that you get that like, those like the cheaper version.
It's when you're on a budget, but you still want a jersey for the game.
No jerseys on a budget, man. Just don't eat for a couple weeks and walk everywhere. Don't drive. Like, I mean, you got to get the red number. Gabriel, do I think another trade will happen? Like I said, I fully expect another trade will happen. Will it be for Tarek Skubal? Who knows? But I think that it'll be a trade to address some of the redundancy of the roster that we talked about. We got, Bloodhound Lil Jeff. He's got Blue Jays lose. Brooding Robot. Can't wait for the "We don't need you" chant from Tucker. Oh, yeah. We don't need you. What's up? We got Randy. I like the new inset comments and videos in your show. Doug, keep the creativity flowing. I like that. What does he mean by that?
I think he means the designated Twitter.
Oh, yeah. No, hey, give love to Noel, man. He set that up. And I agree. I mean, that's what this show's about, man. We're trying to move the needle here. We're trying to do things that other shows do not do and give you guys the best of Dodgers social media. Because we know, I mean, the Dodgers have a top 10. They have like a top 2, not 2 social media when it comes to how active they are. X. The Dodgers was the number 1 trending thing in the world yesterday in the sports world on X. So we got Kung Fusties. I like the Jays, and they gave us such a good World Series. I'm bummed they don't keep Bichette. Oh, that's nice. Must be Canadian. Like, nice. Nando. Did Noel say his favorite actor is Michael Cera? Did you?
No, but Michael Cera's pretty funny.
Michael Cera's pretty solid. Michael Cera. I mean, look, Superbad's one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, he was great in This Is the End, too.
Yeah, and Juno with the headband, I believe, right? Yeah, Michael Cera's solid, man. Alex, you know, that'd be fun. We could do like a which Dodger. Yeah, okay. Trade for Mike Trout and Byron Buxton. This way they can share duties in center field. Mr. Castor. Well, that's the thing, too. We're going to break down this every single which way, but how does Tommy Edman and Andy Pajes, like where they fit in all this? Mr. Castor, that New Balance Ohtani commercial is going to smack during the MLB season. Hey. Yeah, that Hollywood swinging is pretty awesome for sure. Let's tuck and go. I will flip you the bird. Robert Slasher, I don't think the Dodgers spending money is ruining baseball, but I do think the use of deferrals is very problematic. I mean, the bottom line is everyone has access to the same exact rules. Adrian Gonzalez, I don't care a single once, DMAC. I had to deal with this when the Yankees were doing it. Yeah, exactly. All the haters can go suck a lemon. This is from Dodgers.
Bruh.
Okay, that's a comment of the show. Big Joe. Okay, David Bichette to the Phillies would be scary. I'm glad he went to the the Mets. Bang. Fire take. I like that. D-Mac, trade Teoscar, Josue DePaula for Tarek Skubal, sign Bellinger. No. That's... DePaula for Tarek Skubal, I could get behind that for sure. Who wouldn't want a pitcher like Skubal for even your best prospects? But I still think that Teoscar, man, I've seen him in the clubhouse. Like, I've seen what he means to his teammates. I've seen what he's done in the postseason. I still will die on the Teoscar Hernandez hill. Do not trade Teoscar Hernandez. Look, they won the World Series with him in left field. It's just he can't hurt you in left as much as he does in right. He was injured last year. He looks healthier. The beard's shorter. I think that Teoscar is going to have a bounce back here. Do not trade Teoscar Hernandez. I think that trading Teoscar Hernandez has the potential to be very damaging to the Dodgers clubhouse because there's something with his joy, his smile, the chemistry he brings. I know that the Dodgers stadium cleaning crew will be happy that they want to clean up all those sunflower seeds, but no, you don't mess with Teoscar Hernandez. And I think that this makes me feel even better about Teo because this means he's going to go to left field. $199, the 10-7 MMA. Here's more money. Take it from a Cubs fan. I love it. We're going to defer some of that too. Robert, Phil, the comments are going crazy today, it feels like, Noel. Mr. Castor 8, I was watching the 2018 World Series in public and didn't say anything disrespectful. When the Red Sox won, everyone came up to me and did the choking sign while talking crap. Well, you know what? Screw Boston. Always F Boston. There's nothing worse than Boston. I want Dodgers Nation TKO shirt for the Tucker signing, the TKO. I like that. You guys giving us some ideas. You guys, like I said, if you guys come up with a t-shirt idea and we make that, no one will give you 0% of the royalties or profit. So it'll be pretty cool. But we'll give you comment of the show for sure. No, we can find something for sure. After trading Dean, we need Kim to pinch run. By the way, Noel, you checked in with Justin Dean. What was it like? What was the vibe like with him?
It was good, man. He's excited to get another opportunity with the Cubs. We were talking fashion a little bit, talking about him going on stream with Mookie when he was at his house. So he's in good spirits. I actually asked him, I was like, if you could partner with one like clothing brand, because he's big into clothes, which would it be? And he said Yeezy, that he'd want to work with Kanye.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man.
He said he wants some Red Octobers.
That's what's up.
Yeah, but he's doing good. He said he's just happy to get the chance to be in the big league still, and that he's looking forward to playing the Dodgers when he's on the Cubs next year.
Really? I would go Kirkland brand.
Kirkland brand.
Shout out to Costco. We got Philly. Nope, I'm using that salt for my... I like this. Nope, I'm using that salt for my margarita and popcorn. Bang, finish it. Roseman Carino, if we win next year, D-Mac needs a party with the chat similar to his UCLA times. Well, this guy's obsessed with that, which is fine. That's all good. Lawrence Bellinger licking his lips, looking at these signings. Yeah, sets the market. We've got Righteous Tiger. LOL, nobody complains about their college football team for spending, but when the Dodgers spend and accept a penalty for it, it's a problem. Yeah, what are these broke owners doing with the $50 million in revenue that they're getting? We got what number is Tucker wearing? Because Doc is 30. He's getting retired. He's done. Yeah, look, like I said, we don't know what number he's going to pick. If he wants to stick with 3, there are some names. He could go double 3. There are some names. There are some numbers available. We saw Edwin Diaz go down to 3. So, yeah, it'll be fun. Keith Potter, $4.99 super chat. Give you some Let's Go Dodgers right here. D-Mac, as I sip from my cup full of Dodgers haters' tears, I can't help but think it's a great day to be a Dodgers fan. Cheers, Dodgers Nation. Okay, so went crazy on the super chats, on the chats. We're going to be rocking with you guys. How exciting is this? Pitchers and catchers reporting. We got Dodgers Fest dates. We've got the baseball is here. It's getting close. I can hear the cleats on the dirt. I can smell the grass. Like, we're getting close to spring training. And now it feels like the big offseason, which the Dodgers, they win the offseason and they win the regular season. So now it's time to really get back into playing games pretty soon, spring training. But guys, we are running out of time. So let's get to the walk-off.
The walk-off.
Hits the ball to right field. She is gone!
All right, today for the walk-off, the Rays, Angels, Reds, they agree to a 3-team trade for Josh Lowe and Gavin Lux. So Gavin Lux is going to be on the Tampa Bay Rays. Man, we got Mike Sirota. We got him for Gavin Lux. And Gavin Lux will always be a part of that 2024 Dodgers World Series. And look, the Gavin Lux era with the Dodgers, it definitely has some disappointing times because he was the top prospect. He was not just the top prospect for the Dodgers, he was the top prospect in baseball. And he was supposed to be that shortstop of the future and be a future star for this team. And unfortunately, he got injured. He blew out his knee in 2023. And then Mookie Betts, he takes over at shortstop in 2024 when he couldn't make that throw. But I will say this about Gavin Lux. Gavin Lux, he did come through in the Dodgers postseason in 2024. And it wasn't this big moment, but he did have an RBI in the clincher. And Gavin Lux put together a really nice at-bat. He gave the Dodgers what they needed in that spot, and I'll never forget it. I mean, the thing is, it was a 6-5 game, top of the 8th. The Yankees were on top. Weaver comes in. Gavin Lux at the plate with the bases loaded, and he hits a sac fly to center. Did not put it on the ground, and that scored Kike to tie things up. So it was Gavin Lux. They had the game-tying sac fly in Game 5 of the World Series. So Gavin Lux, man, gotta miss you, man. On the Rays for the he was a Dodge, now a Red, now on the Rays. Hoping for success for Luxy. But that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, hit the like button for your back-to-back champion, your ruining baseball Los Angeles Dodgers. We're going to get the Kyle Tucker press conference. I'm guessing on Tuesday. I will be there. So stay tuned for more coverage from that. Special thanks to Noel, killing it as always. Go follow him, Noise by Noel, and then join us in a little bit for the LA Sports Report, talking Lakers, talking Rams, talking your Los Angeles Dodgers. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.